Hello my dear children, welcome back to my class. Let me ask you one question. You go to playground with your friends. Each one of you comes up with different ideas on what game to be played. Imagine you are a leader. As a leader, how will you take a decision? Whether you go by individual opinion or consider majority of interest. Think. We are living in a democratic country where we have complete freedom to choose and decide the things. So what kind of freedom do we have? We have freedom to speak any kind of language, we have freedom to reside at any part of the country, we have freedom to choose any profession, and we have freedom to practice any kind of religion. And at the same time, we have freedom to choose the political leaders to form a government. So in total, we have complete freedom to choose and decide the things in a democracy. So now let us study in detail about democracy. What do you mean by the word democracy? Democracy is a form of government in which country's political leaders are chosen by its people through voting. So here in government we have different levels. For example, central government is at the central level where it decides the things for the whole country or for the whole nation. State government is at the state level and it decides the things for a particular state. As we have 28 states, we have 28 state governments. Next is the local government. Under this local government, we have district, taluks and villages. Now what about these political leaders? Who are the political leaders? So in India we have different political parties. People from these political parties contest the election. So we can choose any one among them from these contestants. And people who get majority of votes are declared as MPs. So what do you mean by MP? MP means member of the parliament. For example, who is the MP of Udupi constituency? Yes, it is Shobha Karandlaje. So she got the majority vote and she was declared as a MP of Udupi constituency. And this process is done through voting. The process by which people choose their representatives to form the government is known as election. So the people who have completed the age of 18 has the right to elect the representatives to form the government, and that process is called as election. You can observe the picture here. This is the picture of electronic voting machine. So here candidate's name and their symbol are listed in one side and on the other side there is a button. So people who want to choose their candidate can press the button against the name and the symbol. Now let us learn about the basic features of a democratic government. A democracy is based on free and fair elections held at regular intervals. The election for Lok Sabha or state legislative assemblies and Panchayati Raj systems was conducted normally once in 5 years. For example, the last Lok Sabha election was conducted in the year 2019 and the next election will be conducted in the year 2024. So a democracy is based on free and fair election held at regular intervals. In a democracy, every citizen has the right to elect representatives to form the government. As I said that those who have completed the age of 18 has the right to elect the representative to form the government. Dear children, do you have the right to elect the representative? No, because you have not completed the age of 18. Whereas your parents have the right to vote because they have completed the age of 18. So in a democracy, every citizen means those who have completed the age of 18 has the right to elect representatives to form the government. Each citizen's vote is given equal importance. So whether he is a farmer or a government servant, whether he is a rich or a poor, everyone's vote is given equal importance. Vote has got the same value. In a democracy, the citizens have the right to stand for the election for any position in the government. But there are certain terms and conditions to be fulfilled to stand for the election for any position in the government. So what are the terms and conditions to be fulfilled? For example, he must be the citizen of India and he must complete the age of 25 years to stand for the election of Lok Sabha. He must be mentally healthy and he should not be a government servant. If he fulfills all these terms and conditions, he can stand for the Lok Sabha election for any position in the government. A democratic government rules in accordance with the rights and the laws set by the Constitution. As we have learnt in the previous video, what do you mean by Constitution? Constitution is a set of rules and regulations. A democratic government rules in accordance with the rights and the laws set by the Constitution. So now you have learnt about the 6 basic rights. It is our duty to discharge some responsibilities. So now let us learn the responsibilities of a citizen in a democracy. The first responsibility is a citizen must elect the representatives who will form the government. So a citizen who has completed the age of 18 has the right to elect the representative to form the government. Next responsibility is a citizen must be aware of his or her rights and duties as listed in the Constitution. My dear children, now you are aware of your rights and duties. But there are many people who are not aware of these rights and duties. So it is our duty or responsibility to make them aware of their rights and duties that are listed in the Constitution. Next responsibility is a citizen must obey the laws of the country. For example, we should pay some taxes to the government. So it is our duty to obey those laws of the country. Next responsibility is a citizen must actively participate in the functioning of the government. How? By supporting the government in its administration. The next responsibility is a citizen should pay the taxes imposed by the government. So the government needs lot of money for the developmental activities such as industries and agricultural activities. So government collect the money from the people in the form of taxes. For example, a person who is highly paid need to pay tax. So that tax is called income tax. If you purchase a good or a commodity, you need to pay a tax. That tax is called sale tax in the form of GST. If you own a house, you need to pay a house tax. So these are the tax strictly to be paid to the government. Next, let us learn about election process. You have already learnt about election. So a person who completes the age of 18 has the right to elect the representative. So what do you mean by election process? Election process means how to conduct the election. Now who is responsible for conducting the election process in India? Yes, it is Election Commission. So Election Commission is responsible for conducting the election process in India. Now let us learn some of the steps which are involved in election. The first step is the Election Commission finalizes the dates for the election. So who finalizes the date? Election Commission finalizes the dates for the election. Once the date is finalized, the voters list for each constituency is prepared. So you can observe the picture here. Voters photograph and their details are listed in this list. So this list will be with election officer. This list is called as voters list. The candidate who want to contest the election file their nomination and start campaigning. So where do they file their nomination? They file their nomination to Deputy Commissioner and start campaigning. You might have observed during the time of election, candidate with other people, they come to your house to ask for the vote, and that is called as what? Campaigning. Once the campaigning period is over, the election commission sets up polling booths across the country. So you can observe the picture here. This is the picture of polling booth. Usually this polling booth will be set in the school. Ballot paper or electronic voting machines are provided to each polling booth. So in the first picture, you can observe in the first picture, this is the ballot paper which was used many years back, and this is the old method. Now we are using electronic voting machine. As I have already discussed in the previous slide, candidate's name and their symbols are listed in one side and the button is listed in other side. Voters, those who want to select the candidate, can press the button against their names and symbols. Once the voting is completed, the election commission counts the vote and declares the result. So once the verification is done, how do they do the verification? They will check your name and the photograph, and later they will put a ink mark to the index finger. Once the verification is done, a voter can go to the election booth to cast his or her vote, and it will be done in privacy. So this is all about the election process. Next, let us learn about the Indian Parliament. It is the institution that makes laws for our country based on the Constitution. So this is the picture of Indian Parliament. Where is Indian Parliament situated? Yes, it is situated in Delhi. The Indian Parliament consists of three parts. They are the President, the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. So this is the picture of our president, current president of India. This is the picture of Lok Sabha, and that is the picture of Rajya Sabha. Now let us learn about the president. The parliament is headed by the president. So who is the head of the parliament? President is the head of the parliament. The president is not a member of any of the two houses of the parliament, but is an important part of it. Any two houses means either Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. So he is not the member of Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, but he is an important part of the parliament. The president is the head of the country and is called first citizen. Next, let us learn about the composition of Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha is known as House of the People. So why it is called House of the People? All the MPs are elected by the people. That is the reason it is called House of the People. Maximum strength of Lok Sabha is 552. So there are 552 MPs in Lok Sabha. A person must be 25 years of age. So what is the age to become a member of the Lok Sabha? Yes, it is 25 years of age or above to be a member of Lok Sabha. The member of Lok Sabha are directly elected by the people of India. That is why it is called the House of the People. Next, let us learn about the composition of Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha is known as Council of States. So why it is called as Council of State? The members are represented by states and union territories. That is why it is called Council of States. Maximum strength of Rajya Sabha is 250. So a person must be 30 years of age or above to be a member of Rajya Sabha. The members of Rajya Sabha are chosen by representatives of state assemblies. Now let us have a short recap. We have learnt about democracy. What do you mean by democracy? Democracy is a form of government where country's political leaders are chosen by its people through voting. We also have learned some of the basic features of democracy, such as election is held once in 5 years and it is our duty to elect the representatives to form the government and so on. We also have learned some of the responsibilities of a citizen in a democracy. For example, it is our duty to elect the representatives to form a government. It is our duty to obey the rules and regulations that are set by the constitution, and it is our duty to pay some of the taxes which are imposed by the government. We also have learned election process. So, who is responsible for conducting this election process? It is Election Commission of India is responsible for conducting the election process. And we also have learnt about Indian Parliament. So, Indian Parliament consists of 3 parts. They are the President, the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. I hope you have understood my lesson. Have a happy learning. Thank you.